It is a steamy day in Montclair, New Jersey, on the campus of Montclair State University. We welcome you inside what will be a hot day between New York Red Bull 2 and St. Louis FC. Alongside my partner, Steve Jolly, I'm Matt Harmon. We're the regular crew for Red Bulls Radio. Let's take a look at some of the information on both of these teams coming in. St. Louis FC 4-5-3. One New Jersey guy that will be in part of the lineup, Jose Angulo. Always good when you get a guy to come back home, Steve. He's got 4 goals so far on the year.
Such a talented player, and today we're going to see firsthand just how well he can step up against this Red Bull team.
You flip sides and look at the New York Red Bulls, who so far this year, 5-7-3 New York Red Bull 2. Derek Etienne Jr., a guy who has bounced back and forth between the first team and the second team. He's got 1 goal so far. We know one thing about him. He is an electric type player.
An electric player, and in this kind of facility where you have this turf and the ball's going to be running pretty quickly, you would expect him to really kind of step up his game today.
Adam Grinwis will start in the net today for St. Louis FC. He has bounced back and forth. They've got 2 really good goalies on the St. Louis FC team. Today it will be Grinwis who will make his 5th start of the year. Conrad Pleva, a familiar name. He will be among the back 4 in this lineup for St. Louis FC, who's trying to even up their mark with 5 wins on the season. You see for New York Red Bulls, too, Rafa Diaz will start today. Jordan Scarlett in the lineup. He has been back now for the last couple of weeks. He'll be paired with the youngster Hassan Nadam. Should be a good one. Dan Metzger as the captain. Brandon Allen, of course, up top. We will take a quick timeout. When we come back, we will have the opening kickoff of this one, an important game for both of these teams who begin play on the underneath part of the cut line in the USL Eastern Conference.
We've raised the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars, innovative technology, and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
Ready to go. Big-time atmosphere here at Red Bull Arena. Wide shot saved by Robles. Bradley Red has scored! The ultimate scoring machine. And New York is on fire. Hashtag New York is red. And who would argue with them?
Two teams right now that are trying to get themselves back into playoff positioning. St. Louis FC entering today 4-5-3, 15 points so far in the Eastern Conference of the USL. The New York Red Bulls, too, the defending champion, 5-7-3 with 18 points. Back here on a hot, humid day with some rain that's been in and out of the area here in northern New Jersey on this 4th of July weekend. John Wallenick hoping that his team can stay cool under what will be pretty brutal conditions to deal with playing here on the turf. You know that always increases the temperature just a little bit. Of course, last year's winning coach of the USL, the championship. And Steve, a familiar guy on the St. Louis side of things, guy that you have played against several times, Preki, back here coaching St. Louis FC.
Yeah, the older you get, the more you start seeing familiar faces, and Preki's here today, obviously competing against Red Bull, and this is a St. Louis team, solid back line, likes to get forward. They obviously got pace up top with Agulo, but this is a Red Bull team also who each and every one of these players knows how important these games are to really step in and show themselves to Coach John Wolniak, because if there's any coach in Major League Soccer who believes in giving these young players an opportunity, that's Jesse Marsh.
Brandon Allen trying to push forward right off the get-go. Preki on the St. Louis sideline has seen USL time with Sacramento, coached in Major League Soccer with both Chivas and Toronto FC. Two-time MVP when he was playing back in the early days of Major League Soccer.
Most definitely one of the scarier left foots in the history of Major League Soccer. So talented, so comfortable on the ball. Everybody knows his history with indoor soccer, and here is a player, well, back in the day, Preki was, that when he got the ball at his feet, that's when he was dangerous.
This one floating out, it will be a throw for Ryan Howe. Before the game, Conrad Pleva was honored and received his championship ring from last year's USL championship. Here's Basulovic. Jordan Scarlett, the draft choice in the MLS offseason. Suffered a shoulder injury at the end part of preseason. I think now at this stage of the year, starting to get himself back to full fitness.
And you can see here Red Bull's trying to the best of their ability, just be very patient with the ball, try to keep the ball at their feet. And when the game does open itself, you see a long ball here. Fantastic long ball opportunity there by Scarlett. They've tried to water down this field as much as possible. There has been some rainstorms in the area, but this field plays so very fast. So even pregame, they tried to water it down a little bit to slow it down a little bit in terms of the pace of play.
It's been one of those days driving up from the central part of the state today. Hit some major rain. We had some on and off storms here about an hour prior to kickoff. We are expected to get some more weather at some point during the course of the evening hours. Hopefully we'll be able to squeeze this one in the window that we have in between that 4 to 6 block. This is game 13 for St. Louis. And a team that had 15 points out of the top 8. Tough to look at the USL Eastern Conference standings because no one's played anywhere close to the same number of games. Here's the Gem taking it over. Looking for Allen. Short hops in off the turf to Grinwis. Davala Goric, the other keeper for St. Louis FC. He started a good chunk of the games, but Grinwis today making his 5th start. Here's St. Louis trying to push forward. Dropping off, Stoikov will rip one at Rafa Diaz, who will bat it down and make his first save of the afternoon.
Not much of a tester there for Diaz. This Red Bull team, there's been kind of defining kind of theme of this team, at least in the early goings of the USL season. It's giving up a lot of goals. It looks like in 15 games, maybe 30 goals. So that's never going to cut it this level, or any other level at that point.
The season here for New York Red Bulls too has mirrored that of the senior team as well. There's been some really bright moments, but maybe inconsistency has been the word that has described both the USL and the MLS team so far this year.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a rocky boat and a rocky road there for the first team as well. And, as I mentioned before, with so many injuries and, players being out and in with national team stuff and sometimes use national team stuff, these second division teams know, especially this Red Bull team, know that it's an opportunity every time they step on the field to try to really impress their coaching staffs.
And Gulo giving chase. Diaz getting just enough of a touch. This Red Bull 2 team today with guys that have been in and out of the 18, whether it's in an Open Cup game or an MLS game. Brandon Allen, Derek Etienne Jr., Dan Metzger, Basulovic, Nadam. Our referee today, man in the middle, is Jorge Ramirez. It'll be interesting to see how they monitor this. I'm not sure what the best way to describe the weather is other than summer-like. Hot, humid, sticky. Change of shirts may be required for your broadcast crew at halftime. Etienne with a rip. It sails up over the top, and a goal kick coming for St. Louis FC. Still in the early going of this first half, 6th minute.
Yeah, the humidity is really setting in, and for these players, they understand the importance of making sure that they're mentally engaged in this game for the entire 90 minutes. You saw Derek there very frustrated with himself that he didn't try to put that one on flame, or he did try and just went a little high.
Well, listen, he's a perfect example, I think, of what you talked about. When he gets an opportunity to play, what can he do with this chance? He's a guy that has been in the 18 for a few games with the MLS side, and for a New York Red Bull 2 senior team. Here's Bezecourt trying to push forward. Etienne will get another chance with it. Cutting back to his right foot. Allen trying to combo back. Looking for a foul that won't come. Just to finish the thought, a team that struggled to score. If you can find some magic down here at the USL level, you might get an opportunity in Major League Soccer.
Yeah, and when you talk about Derek has so much pace, but one of the things I'd like to see him at least try to accomplish more in these type of games is actually running at players and taking them on, sort of like what we saw with Mike Grella. Mike Grella now out for the remaining balance of the season. A guy like Etienne, he has to understand he's got an incredible opportunity now, right now, to really step up his game.
Pleva will play it out. It will be a New York Red Bull 2 throw. Najem will take it. Below. In for Etienne. Tackled out by St. Louis, and they will get themselves a throw. St. Louis, an interesting story. They started back in USL in 2015. 8 wins that year, 8 wins in 2016. And they're on that watch list, maybe, of a team and a city that wants to be able to make the jump into Major League Soccer.
Well, we'll see. I mean, that's about the only way we can kind of articulate that, knowing that teams like Cincinnati are having a lot of success right now.
Grinwis will pick it up. Numbers so far for both of these teams. Red Bulls 2, 24 goals for, 30 against. St. Louis FC scoring 13. They've given up 17. It's the second meeting between the two teams. One home, one away. Last game was played back in April in St. Louis. Metzger trying to win it back at midfield and does. Ethan Cutler, another one of the draft picks in the 2017 Super Draft for Red Bulls. He's a forward midfield player at Colgate, making the transition to right back. Allen, good switch for Najem, but it will skip over him, able to hold on. Metzger wearing the captain's armband today.
Well, a little sloppy so far. Combination of maybe the heat and also the facility, or at least the playing service. Maintaining that composure and making sure that you maximize the space is going to be definitely an important theme for both these teams today. So capitalizing on those opportunities in front of the box. The St. Louis team, especially with Plua and Cochran, some big guys right there in the center of the park. It's not going to be easy to get through.
New York Red Bull 2 trying to break a 2-game losing streak here at home. Their last 2 times here at MSU Soccer Park. 3-0 to Louisville City, 2-0 to Bethlehem Steel. And after today, They will go on the road for a 2-game swing, July 9th at Bethlehem Steel and July 12th at Harrisburg City. St. Louis will be back at home this coming Wednesday against Rochester. Just a bit more than 10 minutes in, still scoreless in this first half. Fans, you can stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune in to USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts Mondays at 9 p.m. That comes up at SiriusXM FC channel 85. Also, don't forget SiriusXM will air the USL Game of the Week. Check USLsoccer.com for dates, times, and information. Here's the feed from Ametkovic. Service in towards the back post. And that is just off frame. Great opportunity for Seba Delgard, who was left open on that backside.
Well, a good ball to the back post, and that's exactly what you needed in that specific situation. Throwing it to the back post, and Delgard coming in, trying to finish it off, but missing it to that near post. But a good opportunity there, and it does look like Diaz had it pretty covered, at least his near post, because that's obviously the first responsibility of a goalie right in that situation.
Diaz will put it back in play with the goal kick. This is the last meeting between these two teams scheduled. They could obviously see each other again come playoff time. This is a St. Louis FC team that lost to the Chicago Fire in the Open Cup back on the 14th of June, 1-0. I saw the excitement at FC Cincinnati, who was able to beat Chicago with that PK shootout to advance into the quarterfinals. Also a spot that New York Red Bulls will be. They'll take on the New England Revolution on the 13th of July from Harvard Stadium. Bezecourt pushing up. Tapped in the box for Grinwis, who plays it up looking for Angulo.
Well, in those specific situations, Bezecourt has to be a little bit better there. Plenty of opportunity to pass it through to allow Vola to go through and put that one on frame at least. And in these games, as I mentioned, it's just so important that you capitalize on those opportunities because they usually don't come very often.
Allen was tapping it back, expecting help. Instead, St. Louis able to win it for a second. Scarlett and Angulo tangle with one another. We mentioned Jose Angulo. Grew up in Clifton, which is right around the corner from where we are here in Montclair. And played his high school ball at St. Benedict's Prep. Did have one opportunity with the New York Red Bulls of his couple of quick stops along the way in Major League Soccer. Also spent some time with the New England Revolution organization. Possession kept as we're seconds away from entering the 15th minute of this scoreless first half. We mentioned second time that these teams playing so far this year. They played April 8th. That was a 3-2 St. Louis win.
Hal doing a good job maintaining possession. But then just right away, giving up a really bad ball. Now it's Red Bull. Not much urgency in terms of their possession, and now getting the ball wide. And this is exactly what we come to see, at least on the first team as well, is the ball out wide and try to maximize some opportunities trying to get forward on that outside position.
That was off the foot of Below, who's able to poke at it and keep possession on. Comes to Cutler. Quick service in for Bezecourt. Played out by St. Louis. Cochran helping clear with Howe. At the end, trying to run into space for Basulovic, who will drop it wide. Played across the face of goal. Grinwas will let it roll. There's Wes Sharpie. Play it up north midfield.
Just 15 minutes in. Still trying to find some kind of momentum for this Red Bull team. You can see not much urgency in terms of people off the ball, and it looks like it's going to be more of an individual kind of match in terms of people taking players on.
Etienne left it there for Bezecourt, who couldn't connect with it. Tried it first time. You say maybe an individual game. I think bring a smile to the face of a player like Derek Etienne, who just took it into the box to set up that last opportunity. Good battle on the far side. Scarlett is pushed down.
Well, those little individual battles, more often than not, are what you're going to see in a game like this, with the heat, with the humidity, with the playing surface being what it is. The teams, to be successful in this kind of environment, they want to make sure they maximize the field and really open it up. And then when opportunities do come, one-on-one kind of matchups, that you try to capitalize them on as much as possible.
Over the top, Angulo, the flag raised on the touch. It was offside. It's the Charleston Battery right now who sit atop the Eastern Conference standings in USL. Louisville City, Tampa Bay, and Bethlehem Steel, your top four. Depending on other results during the course of this weekend, a win today for New York Red Bulls 2 would put them back into the top 8.
There it is.
There's the good overlapping run. Pushing forward, Velo. He'll find it back at his feet. Allen to strike. That's deflected before it can get through. Bezecourt with a first-time volley. And that will be deflected out. It will be a corner coming here for New York Red Bulls 2, who finally have some signs of life.
A phenomenal ball by Allen to find Velo in. I'd like to see Velo test the keeper a little bit better there, but an incredible ball by Allen. Looks like now Red Bull with an opportunity here to try to capitalize on a set piece.
Players push forward into the box towards the near post. First time by Angulo. Etienne had it tackled away. Basulovic trying to keep it on. Nadam able to win it back. Down toward the end line for Velo. That's played out, and another corner coming here for New York.
And as expected, the game truly opens itself up here on the outsides. Guys like Etienne and Velo are going to get plenty of opportunities, and by stretching the field out, and hopefully create some more space for Allen.
Allen posted up inside. Both center backs pushing forward. Whipped in. First time headed out by Pleva.
Just 20 minutes in, starting to see the game open up a little bit more for Red Bull. The confidence is growing.
Akhmetovic looking ahead, Angulo. Dropped here for Ali Hadzik. Into space for Wes Sharpie, who's playing the right back today. Changing things over, Ryan Howe. Step by Cutler trying to win a throw for New York, but it will be St. Louis who's given possession in the 20th minute.
Look at the size of the St. Louis players. Plua, Cochran, Ali Hazik. Got to start thinking about this, especially on situations like this and see set pieces. You don't want to give up set pieces to a team that's so big and comfortable and getting up in the air. Let's see, Coach John Walniak on the sidelines talking to the fourth official. Constructively critical, I guess the best way of saying that, relative to that specific call, because he knows how dangerous these set pieces can be.
Low, looking in the direction of Sharpie.
Head coach Preki, none too happy with that set piece opportunity there. He knows how dangerous this team can be, and then you have a specific situation there where Ali Hadzik steps up and has a poor service inside the box.
Allen in midfield. Last year's finals MVP. Metzger the touch, but then got stuck on the turf. And Gulo pushing forward. Feeds ahead for Bierman. And that one just off frame as it's deflected through for what will be a goal kick for Rafa Diaz.
And Bierman with a really good opportunity inside the box on his left side of foot. Tries to hit it to the far post there. It does get caught up a little bit by the turf, but a really good opportunity there for St. Louis.
Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor for the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. With former Metro star and Red Bull standout Steve Jolly, I'm Matt Harmon. If you're listening to us, this is not a Red Bulls radio broadcast. We're just fill it in today on this New York Red Bulls 2 USL game against St. Louis FC. Hope your holiday weekend is off to a good start. Wouldn't mind a dip in the ocean right about now.
Man. It's really going to be difficult for these players. The heat obviously permeates off this turf with all the rubber and everything like that. So that's why it's so vital that they maintain possession offensively for both sides of the ball. Just tries to open the field up, keep the passes nice and simple.
Good touch to keep possession by Ali Hadzik. Sharpie slowing it down off a deflection. Akhmedovich leaves it for Pleva.
You can see the pace of Etienne. Pleva doing a good job at deking him a little bit. So difficult to defend in this kind of situation with the heat, the humidity. St. Louis doing a good job here, kind of spreading the field out and getting the ball wide.
And Gulo turning, ran into Scarlett, who's a big body center back. Look at the two guys playing those spots today for New York Red Bulls too. Different sizes, and the Dom taller but more slender. Scarlett shorter but stockier and more physical. Off the throw, here comes Allen. He's got Etienne running into the box to help out. Etienne from about 12 yards away. It's blocked down by Pleva.
Pleva with the defensive play of the game so far there. Plenty of time for Brandon Allen to throw it 45 degrees back to Etienne. Etienne with the big strike, and you can see how fatigue is starting to settle in with some of these players as the ball goes out of bounds. They're all going to their knees.
You look at the temperature, and it's in the mid-80s, but as you mentioned before, hotter because of the humidity, number one, and playing on the turf, number two.
There's no breeze whatsoever either.
Etienne turning, gets ripped down and fouled. Stoikov. Bezecourt wanted to take it quick. Wasn't going to turn out well for New York. Referee was not ready for it, so Red Bull 2 will actually get this set piece chance again.
And again, so important in these set pieces to try to capitalize on. Got to test the keeper here. Grinwis, you have to be truly tested, and here's an opportunity from, let's say, 30 yards out, putting it on frame and making him make the save.
Basulovic around it. Bezecourt there as well. It goes low. This will be an easy tap in for Allen. And New York Red Bulls 2 has gone up 1-0. A great example of why you test the keeper from distance. Look for a rebound. Brandon Allen pounces on it and gets his 9th of the season.
Well, Matt, you can't really ask for a better opportunity there for Brandon Allen to put his 9th goal of the season in. A good service inside the box, and obviously Grinwis struggles mightily with it, and Brandon Allen just has to step in and put it in the back of the net for his 9th goal of the season. It's kind of the mantra for Brandon Allen. It's not always pretty, but he just puts them in. It's not what they say. It's not how, it's how many. And for Brandon Allen, it just keeps on adding up these last 2 seasons here in USL.
Because of the heat and the humidity, players will take a hydration break here for a moment or two. That's a pretty good way to go into a little break if you're New York Red Bulls 2, getting the first of the day. And certainly, partner, on a day like this, if you can get a goal here in the first half and possess a little bit more, it makes that for the opposition all that much more difficult.
Now you give up a goal, and that's a poor play by Grinwis. It's going to frustrate this Preki-led team, and now Red Bull has a wonderful opportunity to kind of finish off this first half, just trying to be smart with their play, early and often with the passes, making sure that since you have this facility and this turf, making sure most of the time the ball's on the ground and moving. Just keep it as simple as possible.
Some of the young fans on hand today. Those metal bleachers permeating it as well. They actually, though, good day to come if you are a young fan, as both Sean Davis and Aaron Long from the senior team were here signing autographs before the match.
And both players do such a great job in that kind of environment, so engaging and hospitable. That's the one thing that you can always say about, a good majority of these players in Major League Soccer. They just give their time so much to the sport and their team, and what a great opportunity for young players just to kind of talk to those pros in an incredible environment, close up. Good to see those two guys here.
It's easy at Red Bull Arena for fans to see it. Here's the offside flag up on a promising run. No goal, as it resulted in the back of the net. But, boy, if you want to grab an up-and-coming guy and you can make it to a game here at Montclair State at when New York Red Bulls 2 is playing, you got all kinds of access to guys before, after, during the match almost.
Well, and that's part of the luxury of this kind of setup here in Montclair State. They do such a good job of kind of engaging the fans and coming out, and what an incredible environment for just young players alike to just kind of meet their heroes for who they see on TV, and give them an opportunity to just ask them some questions. And as I mentioned before, Brandon Allen and Sean Davis are such engaging, mature individuals who really take this as an opportunity to kind of meet their fans and talk to them, and a mutual passion of the game of soccer.
Chipped in. Etienne from inside the 18, left it there for the Gem, who was the late runner in. And then the foul will give it back to St. Louis. Fans, you can stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts. That comes up Monday at 9 p.m. on Sirius XM FC Channel 85. Also, don't forget the Sirius XM FC will also air the USL Game of the Week. Check USL Soccer for dates and times. Goal coming for Brandon Allen. just before the hydration break. We are about a half hour in to this USL match between St. Louis FC, who's got something going. The service in from Sharpie is punched out. It will be a St. Louis throw-in.
Sharpie doing a good job getting forward, helping support his midfield there. Well, he's in a right back position today. He is getting an opportunity behind Etienne to get forward and help support on this wide right-hand side.
St. Louis player down and shaken up. No foul was on top of it, just players getting mixed up with one another. It was Amir Alihadzik who was slow to get up. Scarlett, the good chip. Pop forward off the head of Cutler. It'll be Velo who will run it down. Back in for Cutler, just off his foot. And Dom able to step up and keep possession here for New York Red Bulls too.
See here, good possession here by Red Bull. So important that they kind of keep the play simple.
We could be seeing our first yellow of the day. That will go on Ethan Cutler, the 22-year-old from Colgate.
Any stop of play, you can see some opportunities for players to go grab a drink of water.
First caution today.
I don't know if I necessarily see a yellow card in that specific play there, that replay. Looked like Cutler got all the ball and necessarily go through, and a missed call there by the center official.
Step forward, Pleva. Looking ahead, Angulo. Able to keep it at his feet. The serve into the box a bit too much. Diaz all over it.
For a center forward who's playing more often than not by themselves, whether it be Allen today or Angulo up top for St. Louis, so important that maintaining possession. It's difficult to be up top there and have to play against two center backs, and it's just so important that they maintain possession and allow their midfielders to come help support.
Scarlett trying to turn. Good pressure there by Akhmedovich. Dropped in the back for Diaz. If you're a center back right now with the New York Red Bull organization on any level, you're thinking, if I could play well, I might have an opportunity to get called up.
Scarlett doing a good job winning that header. We've seen multiple times so far here by Scarlett doing a good job maintaining possession, and then these long service balls out wide, whether it be to Velo or Cutler, doing a good job really opening up the field of play there from the center back position. Now entering the 35th minute in the final 10 minutes. It's so important for the Red Bull to try to finish up this half, not giving up anything in the final 10 minutes. We do have an injury here where obviously both sides of the field, they'll run in and try to get as much water as possible in themselves as they continue to battle this heat and humidity.
It's Seba Dahlgaard who is down and being tended to by the St. Louis training staff. Brandon Allen, the game's only goal. He also scored against St. Louis when these teams played back in April in St. Louis. There's Preki roaming the sidelines. John Walladick in the white shirt for New York Red Bull 2. I'm impressed that he's got pants on today.
I don't. Had a chance to chat with John before the game a little bit, ask him a little bit about the formation and some of the players that he was looking at. And yeah, he knew that it was going to be a difficult game and a difficult environment to play in with this weather being what it is, and him just trying to get a good result and a good performance. He knows and is frustrated by the fact that this team has given up some tough goals over the course of the season so far, and so he just wanted a good overall performance by his players.
St. Louis will get some reserves up to warm. Looks like Dahlgaard is okay. He'll wait a second to be called back on. He is at midfield. And we should be set and ready to get back up and going. And Gulo will give the courtesy throw back to New York Red Bulls 2. We are in the 36, about set to become the 37th minute here. A 1-0 lead for New York Red Bulls 2. Playing their 16th game of the season. Allen with the chip. It will fall to Etienne.
You can see Etienne, frustration is kind of setting in a little bit. He knows this is a golden opportunities environment. His team lacking, the first team lacking in scoring this season. So, you know, he knows that he has an incredible platform here to kind of show just how valuable he is to this organization.
Sharpie able to keep the possession around the tackle. Stoikov will hit from distance. That will go off the head of Nadam and out over the end line. Corner coming here for St. Louis. The breeze has picked up a little bit, which has been welcome for those who are watching and, dare I say, broadcasting this game.
Again, we have here in the 38th minute an opportunity here for St. Louis. Really struggling in the final third, but now with a set piece, when you have guys like Pleva and Cochran, really try to test Diaz here.
Akhmedovich going far post. Diaz got a touch and was fouled in the process. That will come out on a foul from St. Louis and a restart set for New York Red Bulls 2. Diaz will take his time getting up. Evan Lauro would be the backup today on this New York Red Bull 2 roster. Lauro has played a good chunk of the games so far this year. He's been in the net 10 of the 15 prior. Diaz getting his 4th start this afternoon. Najem had it blocked back down by Sharpie. Metzger trying to chip forward. Bezecourt there to help win it for Etienne. Etienne dangerous in space. He's got a little bit of it right now. Feeds to Bezecourt. Crossfield look Fullo. On the counter, it will be flipped wide for Angulo. Scarlett heading it down, can't completely clear. Now finally knocked out from the back line.
Matt Scarlett's got to be a little bit better in that situation. I know he was tangled up a little bit, but as a defender, when you're inside the box, every single ball has to be up and out, and that was just not a good play there by Scarlett, and he's upset with himself. He knows he needs to do a better job right there. You don't want to give up opportunities on top of the 18-yard box, especially as we enter the 40th minute now. Soccer
fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. 6 and some stoppage time maybe remaining in this first half. Bezecourt able to control. Cutler punching it in. What do you think at this stage? Players probably looking forward to halftime,
yeah,
right?
But you've got to finish it up. You got to be a professional. Finish up the first half. Very fortunate that there is finally a light breeze coming through, and you know there is some fatigue setting in on both sides of the ball here, and you know for both sides, really want to make sure that they try to finish off this game. Finish off this half. And for St. Louis, if anything, try to get that one good opportunity, that one golden opportunity. And then for Red Bull, worst case scenario, finish off the half. But you just get the feeling with the heat setting in and the people just kind of lose concentration that I wouldn't be surprised if Red Bull team gets at least one more opportunity here in the first half.
Here's the turn by Basulovic. Into space, Brandon Allen. Knocks it wide left, Etienne. To the right foot, that gets blocked by Sharpie. Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. Below, trying to save it before it makes the end line. Cuts it back, and then it's played out by Cochran and Pleva. Here's a chance for New York Red Bull 2 on a set piece late in this first half.
Below has had quite a few opportunities on that right-hand side. A good ball to Adam. Finds him wide open. He tries to cut it back to the 6-yard box like you're supposed to do. St. Louis defending well there to clear it out. But now, again, here's the set piece. And more often than not, you see a little bit of mental fatigue in these situations. Let's see if the Red Bull can finish one off here.
Bezecourt. In swinger towards the back post. Etienne. Plays it back. Bezecourt volleys it through. Not cleared quite yet. Velo had a chance, and then it's Bezecourt to strike it at goal towards the near post. Grinwis will scoop that up.
Good job at Bezecourt to put the ball in on Grinwis. Grinwis not playing with too much confidence probably after giving up a poor goal earlier in the game against Brandon Allen. Bezecourt had a good free kick there that put it on frame, and Grinwis got a little tripped up a little bit and deflects back to Brandon Allen, who just tapped it in the back of the net.
Foul on Cutler. Here's a set-piece chance for St. Louis. 45 yards out. Poked in the box. It's Nadam using his height to help clear. Etienne can't control. Stoikov wins it back. Chipped across, and it comes to Angulo, who could not get enough of it on and off of his head towards Diaz, who makes the save. Etienne, the quick counter. 1-on-3. Looking for help. Here comes Basulovic, top of the 18. And we will get
dive.
A yellow on Basulovic, who was trying to draw a PK as he entered the box. That's the second yellow today. Both have been against New York Red Bull 2.
Well, just minutes ago, we got another example. Sharpie doing a good job getting for it on this right-hand side for St. Louis and putting the ball inside the box. He's found a lot of space behind Etienne. He's really committed more of an offensive mind, almost like a left forward.
Stoikov trying to keep it in. We are just about a minute away from hitting 45 on the clock. Brandon Allen with the game's only goal off a rebound from a set piece that Grinwis was unable to keep on.
Now you're from New Jersey. How far is Wallington from here?
Where?
Yeah.
Where?
Wallington.
Wallington? Don't know Wallington.
I asked because Pleva is from Wallington, and he has supported mightily here today in the stadium. There's about 20 or 30 people in front of us right now with Pleva jerseys supporting the young defender.
It was a great story last year, if you can remember back. He had suffered a stroke during the course of the season, was able to return back and play and be part of the USL championship team. Wallington less than 10 miles from where we are right now. 45 on the clock.
Gave you a little geography quiz, and you had to use that Google machine to help you out there.
Well, I got you the answer, though,
yeah,
right?
I could have done it myself.
You could have, but you didn't. Pleva with it right now. He was definitely an inspiration for his team a season ago. Trying to find a home here in St. Louis.
The St. Louis supporters coming from St. Louis, spoke to before the game. Good to see the commitment of those fans making the trek here east to New Jersey.
Fourth official signaling 3 minutes of stoppage time. It seems generous on a hot day, doesn't it?
They really want to be generous. They'll just call it a half.
Metzger pushing forward. Little touch from Bezecourt, who gets a return ball back from Allen. Left-footed ball that gets deflected back to Etienne. Etienne unable to keep it on or get a shot on goal. And Gulo with the push-off of Scarlett.
And you can hear fans asking about that call and thinking that it's shoulder to shoulder, but you could see, because it was right in front of us, there was definitely a Heisman there by Angulo. Scarlett continuing to do a good job here for Red Bull. Beating Angulo to the position.
Scarlett, direct ball forward for Bezecourt. Drop for Najem.
Now we
headed out by Cochran. Metzger looking off on the right side. Cutler. Now it's St. Louis to win it back. Ryan Howe trying to come from his left back spot. Can't do much with it. We're probably a minute or so from the end of this first half. It's New York Red Bulls 2 leading St. Louis FC with a 1-0 score. We'll have some highlights and stats coming up for you in between the first and the second half.
see Etienne hoping for a foul there. Frustration is starting to settle in. The young player talking to the center official, and he knows, as I kind of mentioned before, these one-on-one opportunities that he's getting, whether it's against Sharpie or Pleva and Cochran, just got to do a little bit better job of those opportunities. Try to create opportunities where he can really utilize that pace of his.
Bezecourt waiting for a full complement of players to push forward. Plays one all the way across. Allen is there. We'll wish that he had done better with that. Couldn't play it back to where it came from, and that will take us to the end of this first half.
We asked for one other good option here at the final balance of the first half, and there it was. Bezecourt with another great ball to Allen on the back post, needing to do a better job with that header.
A steamy day in Montclair. New York Red Bulls 2 with the game's only goal. Compliments of Brandon Allen. We'll look at it when we come back. We've got some highlights and stats coming up for you in between the first and the second. Stick around here on the USL YouTube channel from Montclair. It's New York Red Bulls 2-1 and St. Louis 0.
raised the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars. Innovative technology and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
Ready to go. Big time atmosphere here at Red Bull Arena. Wide shot saved by Robles. Bradley right for it has scored! The ultimate scoring machine. And New York is on fire. Hashtag New York is red. And who would argue with them?
We are back here on the campus of Montclair State University. New York Red Bull 2 leading St. Louis FC by a score of 1-0. Hot, humid, certainly summer-like day. You can see some of the Red Bull players out and starting to warm up. Let's take a look at some of the highlights. A little bit of a sloppy start, but certainly New York Red Bull 2 had some opportunities before they were able to get their goal.
Well, the heat and humidity has made a big part of this first half, but it's Red Bull who's getting the opportunities in front of the box. A lot of the opportunities have happened between Etienne and obviously Brandon Allen up top. First 3 or 4 opportunities, and then we're going to see soon this chance here by Etienne and a good defensive play by Paiva there.
Now the goal coming off of what was a rebounded set piece. Bezecourt with the strike. You thought Greenwich should have done better in terms of giving the rebound up, but credit Brandon Allen for being, as he usually is, right place, right time.
There's one goal that always kind of defines Brandon Allen. It's not how, it's how many, and he continues to score at USL at a great pace, 9 goals on the season already, and St. Louis did get an opportunity right there at the end, but this has been the first 45 minutes really kind of dominated by Red Bull right now.
An important game for both of these teams as they each start underneath the cut line of the Eastern Conference in the USL. So 3 points would really be a premium for both. Red Bulls 2 beginning play today, 5-7-3, 18 points. St. Louis FC 4-5-3. They've got 15 points. Couple of games in hand, but New York would certainly be able to try and eliminate that with a victory here today and put themselves back in to the top 8. We'll take a timeout here. When we come back, we will have some more info provided from the USL. We will also revisit some of our information before we get the second half up and going. It is New York Red Bulls 2-1, St. Louis FC 0. We return right after this quick break.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly,
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're going to take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. At work or at play, you're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Oh, hey. She's cute. Nice going, man. Things are going great for you. You've earned a night out. Good drinks, good friends. Yeah, we can go ahead and call this a good night. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Not smart. Yeah, I saw that coming. Say goodbye to her. Ouch, that'll hurt your bank account. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. I hope you like eating frozen dinners. Alone. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh.
It only takes a moment to make a moment.
Cheers.
Take time to be a dad today.
We've raised the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars. Innovative technology and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
All good things must come to an end. The two top Western Conference teams experienced just that in Week 14 of the USL season. Real Monarchs made their mark in USL history with their 9th consecutive win on Monday night to start off the week where they would play 2 league games. Sebastian Velasquez played a key role in the win over Reno 1868, tallying the assist on both Monarchs' goals. But the streak would end Saturday night in Phoenix. After conceding early, Omar Bravo notched his first USL goal, finishing from inside the box after crisp passing from Matt Watson and Didier Drogba. The Real Monarchs remain unbeaten, though. In the last 10 games, they have a record of 12-1-1. Undefeated San Antonio also saw their run come to an end in front of a record crowd in Colorado Springs. 4,229 fans saw Sean McFarland get on the end of a Master-Cashier free kick right before half. That would prove to be the game winner. San Antonio now moves to 10-1-4 as both teams continue to sit atop the West. For USL Network, I'm Morgan Conklin.
We've raised the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars. Innovative technology and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
Ready to go. Big time atmosphere here at Red Bull Arena. What a shot saved by Robles. Bradley right field has scored! The ultimate scoring machine. And New York is on fire. Hashtag New York is red. And who would argue with them?
Left out here to rot and burn. I never trusted your love. Don't need any of the games. 'Cause all you do is complain.
We are back here from Montclair State University with Steve Jolly. I'm Matt Harmon. We are the normal crew for Red Bulls Radio, which you can listen to via our TuneIn Radio app, the New York Red Bulls Radio Network. Our next Red Bulls game will come up on the 5th of July as the senior team will make the trip to Foxborough, which will be the start of a 2-game swing against the New England Revolution. The first one coming on July 5th in regular season MLS play. And then, Steve, your favorite tournament, the Open Cup, will be back up and going. Red Bulls making the quarterfinals with a shootout win the other night against the Philadelphia Union. That was certainly a fun game to be a part of this past Wednesday.
And an opportunity there for Red Bull to play New England here in the final 8, and with an opportunity then semifinals against a looks like Miami or Cincinnati is their side of the bracket. So Jesse Marsh and his staff understand that there's hardware on the line here, and just 3 games away from winning that hard game.
Our game here, New York Red Bulls 2-1 at St. Louis FC, nothing. This is the second of the 2 regular season games that are scheduled between the 2 teams. We have been able to keep the weather at bay. We are expecting at some point tonight here in probably the whole state of New Jersey and kind of along the coast to have some pretty nasty storms that are on their way. But I think we'll be able to squeeze in the next 45 minutes. If anything, maybe we'll get a little bit of a change with the breeze and maybe some cloud cover to come in, because it has been very hot today playing on the turf. Team's coming back from the locker room. Steve, you think for this New York Red Bull team, he's in your picture right now, Derek Etienne Jr., number 7. He's the guy that we want to see get going a little bit more.
And he's got to be better. That's the big thing here, is that he knows that this is an opportunity. He's starting to get a little frustrated with himself that he's not doing a better job taking kind of one-on-one opportunities. Brandon Allen doing what he has been doing the last 2 seasons in this league, is just scoring goals. But the game will open itself up. There's no question about that. And here you have a specific situation with Etienne that he needs to capitalize on this, because there are opportunities for the first team for him.
And you think maybe for the St. Louis team, looking at what they're doing, they've got Christian Valesky, who sits on the bench in the 18. He could be a guy who could make a pretty quick entry here in the second half. He is tied with Angulo with 4 goals so far this year. He's a pretty dynamic scorer, and that might be what St. Louis FC needs to try and find the equalizer here today.
Yeah, this is a St. Louis team that in the first half has not played up to their ability. You could see the frustration is starting to settle in, not only with the team, but the coaching staff. Preki is coming back and forth, pacing the sidelines, trying to encourage this team to be a little bit better here in the second half.
We'll see if anybody makes any changes in between the first and the second half. New York Red Bulls 2 in white today. St. Louis FC, the green jerseys with the black shorts. I mentioned the schedule coming up for New York Red Bulls 2 after today. A 2-game road swing at Bethlehem Steel FC on the 9th of July, at Harrisburg City on the 12th of July, and then back here home for 2 on the 15th against Charlotte, and on the 21st of July against Toronto FC 2. There's John Wallenick, the New York Red Bulls 2 head coach. It was a pretty calming presence on the sideline.
I think it was a calming presence in the locker room as well. John, one of the all-time good guys of the Metro Stars / Red Bull era. And for him today in his coaching role, obviously getting that big victory in the final last season. But today his big message was just, go out there, compete, and do your job, and show just how valuable you are to the entire organization by doing a good job. And the team here today necessarily playing their best soccer, but at the end of the day, they are one up on the score line and trying to capitalize on a situation where they've never lost 3 games in a row here at home, and losing the last 2 games at home really meant to this team that they need to be a little bit better, a little bit more professional here at home, and making sure they get the points and the results.
We are back up and going here in this second half. Well, St. Louis, who started with the opening kick. Tim Schmal has come in. Hassan Nadam has come off. So a change in the back to get some fresh legs for this New York Red Bull team defensive line.
So coming from the injury there by Colin, do you think that this might be something, knowing that Nadam was in the 18 Wednesday night and getting him a good 45 minutes maybe before the New England game coming up in a couple days?
It could be a possibility, plus the news coming just after our broadcast on Wednesday night against Philadelphia that Tyler Adams and Kamar Lawrence from the Discipline Committee at Major League Soccer will have to miss a game. For Adams, it will be the July 5th game. For Kamar Lawrence, the story a little bit more confusing because he's going to be with Jamaica with the Gold Cup getting up and going. So his suspension might take place after that tournament is all wrapped up. Unless, I think the way I understood it is they could fly him home for a game and have him be with the team and have his suspension be then, and then fly him back to be with Jamaica if they can find the right date to get it done.
There is a way of managing that specific situation there for Kamar.
He has been certainly very good for the Red Bulls so far this season. Kamar Lawrence playing that left back spot.
His confidence grows again throughout the course of the season. On this left-hand side, he has done such a good job for Red Bull over the last couple games, getting forward and being involved in the attack.
Cloud cover has helped kill the sun here, which has made it a bit more tolerable. Here's Angulo. Changing it, looking over the top. Coming to Dalgard. And chipped in. Diaz sees it all the way. Ryan Howe with the half shot. Can New York Red Bull 2 find that second goal? Brandon Allen holding it up.
And this is so important for a center forward to hold it up and allow his midfielders to go through.
And there's the pushback for Bezecourt. Will roll out. Allen, an interesting guy. Steve, a Red Bull Academy player, had a great career collegiately at Georgetown. Last year's final MVP, Rookie of the Year. Just 23 years old. Still kind of waiting for maybe that first opportunity with the senior team. He was in the 18 the other night in the Open Cup victory against Philadelphia.
Well, at some point, you would think that if he doesn't get that opportunity with the senior team, that I guess the question is alone in the offering at some point. He's getting good minutes here at USL, though, and when I say getting good minutes, not only in terms of playing time, but doing what he pretty much did last year, and that's just score goals.
That is the nice thing for an MLS team to have this USL affiliation. Unless it's the perfect loan spot, you don't really have to have guys go anywhere.
Yeah. It's a big luxury for allowing Jesse Marsh an opportunity to see Brandon always.
Great vision from Bezecourt. Allen finding Velo. That's a big save made by Grinwis, who was able to keep it at 1-0.
Brandon Allen with a great ball across the box, and Velo doing what you're supposed to do, go back to the far post, and wasn't able to finish that one off.
Cutler drove it across. Basulovic. Metzger. You can see here Red Bull 2 really pushing for that second goal. Allen across the field for Etienne. Back to Allen, top of the 18, trying to tee it up to the left foot. Etienne slipping it back. Bezecourt has it go off of his own player, and it will come as a goal kick for St. Louis FC as we're set to enter the 51st minute.
Well, here in the second half, Red Bull continuing with the majority of opportunities here in this game, and that specific run of play, you saw Brandon Allen, how dangerous he can be, not only with his goal scoring, but a good ball to Fallot to the back post to try to chip the keeper to the other back post, and a good opportunity there for Red Bull here in the first 5 minutes of the second half.
Talked about the upcoming schedule for New York Red Bulls, too. For St. Louis, after this one today, they will be home on Wednesday against Rochester, back on the road next Saturday against Charlotte.
Good possession here by Red Bull. Just connecting the passes, trying to keep it simple.
Bezecourt popping it wide for Cutler. Open on the flank right side. Punched out there by Ryan Howe. It will be a Red Bull 2 throw.
We have seen Cutler quite a few times today get forward here on this right-hand side, offering support to Bezecourt.
Bezecourt inside, looking for a cutting Allen. Played back out, and Gulo will hold up. Fans, stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune in to USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts Monday at 9 p.m. on SiriusXM FC. Also, don't forget SiriusXM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. You can check USLsoccer.com for dates and times. First 6 minutes has been all Red Bull 2 possession. St. Louis trying to change that right now. Good cut towards goal. Dalgard skipping it in. Diaz able to smother it and make the save.
If there's been one big offensive threat, it's Dalgard on this left-hand side for the St. Louis team. Does a good job cutting into his right foot, taking the shot, and Diaz with a good job controlling that one shot. Never an easy, guaranteed save in the turf field.
Big switch across for Velo will run out. Reserves for both teams are up and warming. It was the New York Red Bull 2 team that made one change in between the first and the second half, with Tim Schmal coming on for Hassan Nadam.
Again, an opportunity there to see Etienne with the ball at his feet. Continues to need to do a better job there. Patience and frustration is settling in, and he just has not been the player today that we've seen before.
And Gula, Scarlett stepping forward. Schmal will restart.
I mentioned that Scarlett, center back there for Red Bull. I think he's had a good game here today, been solid, very comfortable with the ball at his feet. A good step in there by him. Again, good play.
Here's another guy we talked about, Cutler, who was a forward in college at Colgate. Scarlett was more of an outside back player at Iona. He made the transition to center back in the preseason before he got hurt. This one popped in by Velo.
Good ball there by Velo, and it's Grinwis who came up, kind of redeems himself there with a good save. Matt, there's nothing wrong with an old forward/midfielder being thrown in the back. Got a pretty darn good career out of being thrown in back there. You never know what can happen.
You say, right? If you're a good forward, you should be able to make that transition, especially, you know, the way the game is played today. If you're an outside back, you're pushing forward so much.
Yeah. Well, think about Aaron Long there on the first team. Aaron's doing a really good job kind of learning the position by trade. We've seen time and time again during the course of this season Aaron Long being in good positions, and I think that has a lot to do with the fact that he knows, as a former offensive player, you know, what kind of places he needs to be on the field to help kind of deflect the attack.
That one played out by Sharpie. It will be a corner coming here for New York. Bezecourt has Basulovic as a short option. Takes it with the right foot, bending out. Schmal, who's got good size, couldn't get it on target.
Seen Bezecourt play a couple times now and continue to be impressed with his left foot. Smart player, makes good decisions with the ball.
Cutler with the big switch across. Yeah, Basulovic. That central midfield, you look today, Basulovic, Metzger, Bezecourt, Allen inside. Allen trying to get it down low. We will get a card coming on Brandon Allen.
I think an intentional handball, but kind of ridiculous. And you can see John, who has a great angle to that play, requesting some kind of comment from the fourth official explaining why a yellow card is given there, considering that Brandon Allen was held about. And we can see here what a great service, and unfortunately hits his right hand and intentionally. And so I, along with John Wolniak, really question why the center official needs to make a yellow card determination there.
That will run out for St. Louis FC. 57th minute. Red Bulls 2 leading 1-0. Looking for what would be their 6th win of the year. Tough ball for Metzger to deal with.
Good pressure there by Red Bull. And Metzger trying to get on the end of this one. Doing a good job winning that 50-50 ball in the middle field.
Another guy who's just kind of biding his time and waiting for his opportunity. Started to say with Metzger, Basulovic, Bezecourt, all guys that the front office with the Red Bulls feel pretty high about. It's a pretty crowded spot, though, that central midfield for the MLS team, with names like Kleshton, Felipe, Tyler Adams, Sean Davis. Good to have some depth, though. Here comes a substitution. We were waiting for Volesky to come on, and he will enter right now in place of Akhmetovic. Christian Volesky from Henderson, Nevada. Started at the University of Denver, 25 years old, 4 goals so far this year. Clearly an offensive spark Preki is hoping he can provide.
And now that clouds have started settling in now, been a big drop in the temperature, 10, 15 degrees easily. In the game, you're starting to see the players get a little bit more life now.
Would also indicate that our weather forecast, I think, has been pretty good. At some point, it's going to rain here with a pretty big thunderstorm on its way. Hopefully it happens after 6.
And I think we are going to be able to get this game in, and it was nice to play a second half with a lot less heat and a lot less humidity. Good possession here by Red Bull.
Etienne with the strike. Easy save for Grinwis.
Good job by Etienne. Win the ball back, but then gives it away. Really has struggled here in this game. I know we're only 60 minutes in. You can see Coach John Wolniak talking to him as well a little bit, trying to encourage him. In a bit of a funk right now.
Grinwis up towards midfield. Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. Allen checking back into space. Return ball from Etienne. Foul will come on Busulovic, who is trying to win it back and slow what could have been a counter for St. Louis. Into space, Volesky. Scarlett there. This will be a corner. We knew Volesky when he came on, he would be dangerous and almost immediate impact.
I'd like to see Diaz be a little bit more committed and coming out here and supporting his center back, allowing the ball to bounce, and needs to attack that ball a little bit more. Probably could have got hands on that and kept a hold of it.
Set piece here off the corner for St. Louis. Second ball put back in. Diaz able to get it before it goes out towards the near post. Rafa Diaz, 25 years old, played collegiately at St. John's. Etienne now with space. Allen joining. Below there. Below. We'll want that one back.
We've seen 3 or 4 opportunities there by Velo. At least today, where he could do a little bit better job to finish off the finish. But Etienne with pace, always difficult to defend a player who's running at you at pace, and a good one-time touch there by Brandon Allen to find Velo. And Velo putting it up high.
Please check USLsoccer.com for dates and times.
'63rd minute of play. Still the game's only goal coming for Brandon Allen in the 26th minute.
Capitalizing on a mistake there by the goalkeeper, going with Brandon Allen, getting the only goal of the day. But it's not just a goal being scored. I think Brandon Allen has had a very good performance here as we enter the 63rd, 64th minute of play. He's created quite a few opportunities, not only for himself, but other players around him.
Foul there coming on Wes Sharpie, who was trying to body up Allen. Chance here to put one in the box for New York Red Bull 2.
Well, I'm standing over this. I'm looking for Schmoll.
Still looking for that game's second goal. First time down, Pleva was among those who was there for St. Louis FC. Ali Hadzik starts to break out. Bezecourt doing battle with Stoikov. Below the deflection. Into space. Too much for Etienne to run it through. Good touch by Howe to get around Cutler. Served in. Diaz will make a save. Went off of his right hand as he was coming back across goal. What a reaction from Diaz. Octavio Guzman will come in. Let's look at it again.
You can see Howe doing a great job putting the ball in front of the box. And Agulo with a big miss. Could have easily put it away to that near post. Diaz did not have it covered. Agulo's going to want that one back.
They must be saying No touch from Diaz as they're giving New York Red Bull 2 a goal kick. It looked pretty clear to me that there was a change in the path of the ball. Etienne looking first time. New man in Guzman will stand him up. Etienne in the box again, ran into Sharpie. Now will commit a foul against Guzman. And the garbage can is the target of some frustration for Derek Etienne Jr.
And right away, head coach John Woniak trying to encourage Etienne to stay in the game psychologically. He's really taking himself out today, really frustrated with his own performance.
Metzger gets shouldered down.
Metzger continues to be a calming presence there in the center of the park for Red Bull. Wearing the captain armband today.
The USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars.
Put back in play here by St. Louis FC. Howe creeping up. Valesky had that one chance when he first entered. Guzman. That overlapping run by Sharpie goes into the next town over.
Sharpie has done a good job getting forward, helping support his midfield on that right-hand side. A good build-up there by St. Louis. Haven't seen too many really good build-ups here by St. Louis today, but that one was a solid one as they continue to try to push forward. We just minutes ago saw Howe doing a great job here on this left-hand side, getting onto the end of play and putting a good ball over to Angulo, who just did not finish it. Wide open, 6 yards out.
Getting to that stage where John Wallenick might think about getting some fresh legs on. Zico Lewis, a guy who could enter and give some pace. Junior Fleming's back from a time with the Jamaican national team in the Caribbean Cup. Douglas Martinez could also be a guy who could enter here late for some offensive punch. Dahlgaard gets fouled by Velo, who was no fan of the whistle.
Looks like Guzman's going to step on top of this, so a set piece. We'll continue to reiterate that theme of set pieces and the importance, especially for this St. Louis team in this stage. We've got guys like Cochran and Pleva, both at 6'3", 6'4", looking at the back post.
35 yards out, over the head of Diaz. Still in the area, chipped out by Velo. The offside flag had been raised. And New York can have some time here in the 70th minute to put it back in play.
Well, really good service there by Guzman to find Angulo again. You can see, speaking of players who are frustrated with themselves, we mentioned Etienne on the Red Bull side, but Angulo right now really frustrated with himself, knowing that he should have put at least one of these away.
Fans, you can stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune in to USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts. Comes up Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Sirius XM-FC Channel 85. Also, don't forget Sirius XM-FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Be sure to check back at uslsoccer.com for more information. Junior Fleming's the guy who is getting set to come in and enter.
Wouldn't be surprised if he replaced Etienne right now. Etienne, I've had the pleasure of seeing him play quite a few times over the last couple seasons, and can't remember a time where I've seen him struggle so much. So we'll see. As soon as John Wolniak is talking to Junior, telling him kind of his marching orders.
Quick switch from one side of the field to the other. Velo able to read it. If he can save it, he's got some space in front of him. Created the contact there with Howe and gets a foul.
No question he sold that specific play there. Does a good job getting to the sideline to save it. Misplaces the touch, but a foul is a foul. And Howe, as much as he's disagrees with that call, it definitely looked like a free kick there for Red Bull.
Allen going across for Etienne. Quick step over. One read off the near post from Grinwis pretty quick.
Gula is so good with his left foot. So comfortable with the ball at his feet. Algar doing a good job holding it up and getting it wide for Guzman.
Good push back quickly for Ali Hadzik, who will strike.
Diaz doing a good job right after the shot, getting up and making sure that he knew, or lets his defenders know that there's responsibility there by them to step up, try to test.
Flemings will come on for Florian Velo. Substitution that will happen here in the 73rd minute. Second substitution made by New York Red Bulls 2.
Looks like there might be an opportunity here for Velo. I'm sorry, for Junior to come in here and waiting minutes here. It's over 15 minutes for an opportunity for Junior to really kind of settle into the game and get something out of this, hopefully, for him.
Certainly a dynamic player who will stay off wide on the right side. Guzman, read well by Schmoll.
You can see St. Louis fatigue is really settling in now, and Red Bull so important to maintain possession. You see Brandon Allen coming back, helping support his team. Just has to be a better job there by Scarlett. Got to keep possession.
And Gula tried to play it ahead for Valesky. One back by Scarlett. Here is Flemings. Good touch to get around Howe. 3-on-3 with Flemings, 25 yards away. Etienne holding. Has Allen as a target towards the top of the 18. Back to Flemings. Gives it a go. Didn't make it all the way through.
Maintains possession right on here, top of the 18. Need to get the ball wide. Try to open up some space here, and they finally do get it to Brandon Allen.
Switch up over the top and wide. Allen will leave it for Etienne, who will hit it. Deflected down by Grinwis. Now Metzger holding. Long bout of possession here for New York Red Bulls 2.
is a good job by Red Bull. Going to be a better job, though, right there as I speak, by Najem. Maintaining possession, vital right now. Game will open itself up. Keeping your space and making sure you do a little bit better job in terms of maintaining possession when there's the simple pass available.
Here comes Bezecourt. Hits from distance. It will go off of a St. Louis player. And it will be a corner coming here for New York Red Bull 2. There's a substitution coming on for St. Louis. Tyler David will enter. He'll take out Seba Dalgard.
Number 12, Tyler David, for number 7, Sebastian Dalgard. David for Dalgard.
And for Preki right now, I think at this stage you're looking for some fresh legs, maybe some more offense. Been a hot, warm, humid day. Bezecourt with the left foot. Plays it towards the top of the 6. Scarlett had the touch. Plava will play it out. It will be a throw this time for New York. There's a St. Louis player which is down in the box. Wes Sharpie, number 22. Might be a chance for some players to get some hydration. Sharpie struggling to get up.
First half, game kind of defined by slow and deliberate, partly because of the weather, hot and humid. Now the clouds are starting to look a little bit ominous, and it's cooled down quite a bit as the clouds have moved in.
Fans, make sure you tune into the USL's weekly show, Sirius XM Channel 85, on Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Sharpie up now and trying to walk off whatever problem he was having with his knee. Since the medical staff came on, he's going to have to step out for a second.
U.S. men's national team playing today. They've got a 1-0 advantage over Ghana. Goal coming for Dom Dwyer in the 19th minute.
Dyer having such a good career there with Kansas City and finally getting an opportunity on the national team, U.S. national team. And really capitalizing on that opportunity today. It looks...
You never know how many chances you're going to get, right? If you're there, you better impress. Scarlett, good touch to keep the possession. Metzger, free ball for Bezecourt. There has not been many times in this half that St. Louis has been able to maintain any kind of possession or really get anything forward. Flemings, good ball, top of the box for Allen. First time hit Vasulovic, didn't get much on it.
A good job by Allen to put that ball back for Vasulovic. There's a lot of intent with that little touch there, and continue to be impressed by Allen.
You can see the clouds starting to come in. I think we're still a ways away from getting anything in terms of the bad weather, but it is supposed to be pretty nasty here in between 7, 8 o'clock.
Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information,
Red Bull team here in 2017, Red Bull 2. 15 games, giving up 30 goals would be good positive momentum going forward for this team. And as if they can get out of here with a clean sheet, One big opportunity there by Ngula. Didn't put it away, but not too many other opportunities there by the St. Louis team today.
Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. Matt Harmon, Steve Jolly, hope you're enjoying our USL game here on YouTube. New York Red Bull 2 leading St. Louis with 10 in stoppage time remaining. Brandon Allen with the goal. Came in the 26th minute. Good way to kick off your 4th of July holiday. You were very American before. Hot dog at halftime, a Coke.
Oh, yeah. Some apple pie after the game and call it a day.
You'll be all set. Drop for Diaz, top of his 18-yard box.
Good decision there by Scarlett. Keeping it simple, just playing back to Diaz, allowing Diaz to clear it.
You've liked him today.
I have. I think he's had a starting performance there in the back line, and the big star today for me obviously has been Brandon Allen. I think he's been tremendous on the day. Metzger in the middle of the park has really kind of solidified his position and value to this team game in and game out.
Oleski against Schmall, who will commit a foul. Dangerous spot for a set piece coming here in the 82nd minute.
If I remember correctly, that last set piece, Guzman does a good job finding the back post. Found Ngula by himself on that back post, and Guzman has a lot of confidence over the ball.
About 10 yards off the end line and about 10 steps off of the sideline. Guzman, right-footed service all the way across. Gets headed out by Allen.
Good job there by Cutler. Lost David. Slow the game down a little bit, try to finish up this final 10 minutes for Red Bull.
Delayed whistle coming and a chance for New York Red Bull 2 to restart things in their back line.
USLsoccer.com and follow them on Twitter at USL.
'84th minute. Things in terms of the intensity starting to ratchet up a little bit. Looks like New York Red Bull 2 gonna make another substitution. I believe it is Douglas Martinez who's got the jersey on and will check in. Martinez, highly regarded player from down in Honduras, was part of that U20 CONCACAF championship. Went to the World Cup.
Junior Fleming there. Substitution a couple minutes ago. Not too much in terms of ball of his feet and doing too much yet. Still has plenty of time.
Brandon Allen will check out with 85 minutes of hard work today. He will be replaced by Martinez.
Allen with a dominating performance here. Easily the best performance probably on the field. So involved in so many opportunities. Just about every opportunity, I think, Red Bull on the day. And now you've got Martinez coming in for him, try to finish off the job.
Martinez just 19 years old. He's going to get an early chance here. Corinne was able to just knock it out of his reach. Etienne keeps it on. Flick across for Flemings, whose header is just over the top of the bar. You can see here New York Red Bull too, Steve, really trying to, in cases when they can, push to get that second goal.
Etienne with a good ball to the far post. Flemings trying to put it over Grinwis, who in the second half has done a great job.
Valesky has to be monitored. Top of the 18, blocked by Schmoll. Curling out is Stoikov. Flemings can't keep possession. Sloppy last couple of seconds here. That will ding off of the post. Fortunate bounce for New York Red Bull 2. Weren't able to keep possession or clear, and it almost resulted in the equalizer. Give credit to St. Louis for not going away here in the 88th minute.
Let's see. Preki off his bench, encouraging his team to continue to get forward. Just a couple of minutes remaining in this game today, and you're going to see Diaz try to take as much of this time as possible. In this replay, you can see gets beaten to that far post a little bit. Had it covered pretty well, and fortunately for him, his best friend, the post, saves him. Both teams continue to try to get forward. St. Louis in the second half, a little bit better job than the first half. Couple opportunities, good opportunities. I'm sure they're going to look back and wish they capitalized on. Red Bull probably the more dangerous side overall on the day. A lot of that was driven by the play and performance of Brandon Allen.
Shouldn't be many more chances left for St. Louis. They will try and work something here. Guzman to play it wide for Sharpie. Too much on it, and it will roll out for a Red Bull throw-in.
You can see Preki's reaction on the sidelines. So frustrated with that poor ball, knowing that just a couple minutes away and the game really opening himself up for St. Louis. Got to do better. Just get the feeling in this type of game, even with only a couple minutes left, that each team will probably get an opportunity at some point in the main balance of this game. Big throw in here, it looks, by St. Louis.
St. Louis pushing numbers in the box. Red Bull can't keep the possession, so another chance here. Guzman will leave it for Sharpie. 90th minute. Guzman, the service across, and it's headed over the top of the bar and off frame by Valesky.
Might be the chances that St. Louis is going to get for the day. We'll see. Now we'll soon find out just how much stoppage time we'll have. Sure, there'll be at least a couple minutes. Diaz is going to be putting this in play. Slowly but surely, finally plays it out.
It will be a Red Bull 2 throw. We are at 90 on the clock, just waiting for the fourth official. 3 minutes of stoppage time.
Coach John Wolniak off his bench encouraging his players to finish off this game. Be a good result here. A game that's really been defined, I think, for me. Brandon Allen's done a great job offensively in the back. Scarlett, Diaz, and then for St. Louis, they're really going to probably harp over that one play where Howell got forward on the left-hand side, played it right across the 6-yard line, and Angulo all by himself on the 6-yard box, missing that one.
Looks as if one of the St. Louis assistant coaches has been ejected from the game. Saw the red card come out, and they have had someone march down the sideline. So 3 minutes of stoppage time. We're about a minute into that. Let's see if it gets added on a little bit more. Will be a big win for New York Red Bull 2, who, depending on results this weekend, could find themselves back into the top 8. High strike over the top of everything.
And Diaz very determined to take as much time as possible to get this back into play, kill off as much as possible. Those 3 minutes.
Being hit for Martinez. Scarlett trying to clear up field. We should be in our last minute of stoppage time. Howe with the long ball over the top. Small able to deal with it. Diaz didn't get much on that clearance. It's held back in here by Guzman.
Guzman's going to hold for that overlapping run and try to get it wide and get it inside the box here.
Able to push off Metzger all the way across. Headed up with the wrong direction. Stoikov chipping in. From inside the 18, just off target. That was the chance St. Louis was waiting for. Ali Hadzik had it. It was partially touched by a Red Bull defender, and a quick corner taken here by St. Louis. Chipped in, looking for Diaz. Still in the box, no clearance yet. Popped high in the air by Martinez, and there is the final whistle. As New York Red Bull 2 will get themselves a hard-fought 6th win of the year. They will go to 6-7-3, now 21 points. St. Louis FC 4-6-3. They will stay on 15 points.
And it wins the win for Red Bull. Obviously, St. Louis has had their opportunities here in the second half. Ali Hadzik and Ugula doing a good job, but not enough here today.
No, not enough at all, but a win for the New York Red Bull 2 team that maybe gets them back pointed in the right direction. They break a 2-game losing streak at home. They win at 1-0. We'll come back with final thoughts and highlights after this quick timeout. Red Bulls victorious today over St. Louis FC.
We've raised the stakes. Expectations are high. our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars, innovative technology, and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
Ready to go. Big time atmosphere here at Red Bull Arena. Wide shot saved by Robles. Bradley right field has scored! The ultimate scoring machine. And New York is on fire.
Hashtag New York is red. And who would argue with them?
Back here from Montclair State. A 1-0 win for New York Red Bull 2 over St. Louis FC. USL action here on this 4th of July weekend. Let's go into some of the highlights. We just had the one goal, and this is it. Steve, a great job by Brandon Allen just pouncing on the rebound. That was what turned out to be the game winner.
Well, Bezecourt doing a good job, both on that one set piece, but also starting this play. And you can see another good opportunity there by Red Bull.
That was early on in the first half below. Diaz did have to be called on a time or two. He also got a helping hand from the post late in this second half. That was one chance, and that's the one we're talking about right there. That came with just a couple of minutes to go in the second half, but just enough for this New York Red Bull 2 team to win it. I want to thank all of you for spending part of your 4th of July weekend with us. Next home broadcast for the New York Red Bulls 2 on the 15th of July against the Charlotte Independents. For Steve Jolly and all of us here for the New York Red Bull 2 organization, this is Matt Herman saying so long. Have a great 4th of July weekend. Thanks again for watching. Red Bull 2 wins it 1-0 over St. Louis.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent from the United Soccer League.